Hey, yeah, you're welcome to today's episode. And if you're new here, you want to subscribe to this channel. So, today we'll be talking about disruptive thinking. Disruptive thinking that leads to courageous shift. Yes. So, many a times I want to ask, how do you navigate through the chaoses and the sounds of noise around you? How do you get away from them? How do you get through them? Let me know about yours. Kindly share yours with me on the comment section below, and then we'll look at it later. But for now, let's talk about how we navigate through them. Many a times we are asked to tiptoe or learn from the people that had forged ahead of us, from workplace, church, family members. My question is, if you don't make your own mistakes, how are you then going to learn from it? If you have to learn from the people around you all the time. Now, don't misquote me. I am not saying that you shouldn't learn from them, but I just want to resound that sometimes, while mirroring yourself with other people, try to make your own mistake. It's okay to make your own mistake, and it's okay to learn from it. When you don't learn from it, that is when it is not okay. So how do you navigate through the chaoses and the sounds that resound all the time? One of the things I personally have to do is to learn. I have to put more time into consciously being intentional about changing the things around me, because change comes from true intentionality. You need to be ready and say, okay, I am ready to go through this change that I want to see. You become the change that you want to see. Change will not come when you yourself are not ready for change. So how do you move through all the change that you need to see? You need to set goals. What are your priorities? You just don't wake up every morning and then continue each day by murmuring about what you don't like about your life or what you want to see. You need to set priorities and you need to set goals. For some of you, if you need to prepare a to-do list, it's okay to prepare a to-do list. If you need to come up with critical thinking, which is where I am going today. Now, for you to come up with disruptive change, you must come up with critical thinking. You must be ready to set yourself apart for a better change. Now, you need to look at the odds around you and do critical thinking of how you can change them, how you can come up with goals and strategies that would help you change the current situation that you have. You need to identify strength, even in the midst of that chaos that you find yourself in. So how do you identify the personal critical thing for maximum results? Number one, you need to find your passion. You need to find what you are passionate about. Because many a times, in the midst of the noise and the chaos around us, we just find ourselves so lost that we don't even ask ourselves that, am I where I want to be, or am I where God wants me to be? Many of us are already in where God wants us to be, but we have lost ourselves to the noise around us, that we pay attention to the noise. And one thing you can never do is you cannot put noise on top of noise. It's going to disrupt the whole environment. We are where God wants us to be, but the noise is not allowing us maximize where we are. We think too much and we murmur a lot, and we drag ourselves down to where people want us to be. Now the question is, do you want to be at where people want you to be, or you want to be at where God really wants you to be? Another thing you need to do is to set meaningful goals. You need to set priorities. You just don't walk aimlessly like that. One thing I used to say is, when you set realistic goals ahead of you, now success is defined based on how you want to define success. For me, success is me setting goals, and when I meet that goal, my success has been attained. So you need to set meaningful goals, realistic goals, and align with those values. What are your values? Always ensure that you align with the values that you have set for yourself. Another thing you need to do is to overcome fear and doubt. Many of us, the fear of, can I do this? How can I do this? You are always dealing with distraction instead of focusing on achieving your result, what you want to achieve ahead of you. Many a times do we procrastinate. We just can do this now, but we want to do it later. You need to stay motivated all the time. When you are motivated, you cannot procrastinate, because that alone is a driving force for you to attain whatever you want to see, the results that you want to see and the change that you want to see. You need to create a plan of action. When you create a plan of action, it helps you break tasks down into smaller activities, and before you know, you are done with it. Another last thing I'm going to talk about is look for an accountability partner. One thing I do is I look for accountability partner around me. They could be your friends, they could be your colleagues, it could even be your parents. Just talk to them that I want you to be my accountability partner. Having an accountability measures helps you a lot. You tell them to keep tap at you at every given time. Let them know your weakness and what you're trying to work on, so they will be able to give you a better review of how you're performing, if you're moving forward or you're lagging behind. Sometimes their check also puts you back on track. What do you think about all what I've just said? If you agree with me, let me know in the comments buttons. If there are other things that you do as well, put it in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. If you've not subscribed, you want to subscribe now. Thank you and have a lovely day. Bye. Catch you later.